Thank you, and welcome to the September 14th Mesa City Council meeting. All of our council is present. I will note, at this council meeting, we are also taking comments from the public, both over the telephone and internet. You can find multiple ways to participate on the first page of the agenda for this meeting. Additionally, if you would like to speak, you should submit a blue card, preferably 1 hour before the meeting. Again, you can find all of that information on the first page of the agenda of this meeting and at mesaaz.gov/blue card. We will begin our meeting this afternoon with an invocation offered by Pastor Tony Frazee of the Gateway Bible Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please join me in standing for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Pastor, please proceed.
I'm going to pray now. God Almighty, we thank you for the honor and the privilege of coming before the throne of grace. We ask for your wisdom, a spirit of unity, God, upon this council meeting. We ask, God, for your blessings, continued blessings on the United States of America. We lift up our sons and daughters, Lord, that are in our military. We lift up our police, our first responders, asking you to watch over them and protect them. Watch over our school campuses, as many of them are reopening now. And continue, God, to rid this city of that vile virus. We ask these things. We ask you for these blessings. We ask you for your help now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight, the first item on our agenda is awards and recognitions, and tonight we have two proclamations on the awards and recognitions agenda. First is to proclaim September 15th through October the 15th of this year as National Hispanic Heritage Month in our city. Luna and Heredia will present the proclamation and ask our guest, Deanna Villanueva Sauceda, to say a few words. Council members?
Thank you, Mayor Giles. Councilmember Heredia will alternately read the proclamation. Whereas in 1968, Congress passed legislation in honor of the extraordinary contributions and culture Hispanic Americans, and whereas National Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates and recognizes the contributions Hispanic Americans have made in American society and culture, and to honor 5 of our Central American neighbors who celebrate their independence in September. And
whereas over 60 years later, the city of Mesa celebrates Latino Americans and the anniversaries of independence for the Latin American countries of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, as well as Mexico's independence on September 16. And whereas the first Hispanics arrived in Mesa by the mid-19th century and have been in Mesa for over 100 years. And whereas in the last 10 plus years, the number of Latinos has significantly increased, making Latinos an essential part of Mesa's growth and redevelopment. And
whereas Mesa is a city that supports Latino-owned businesses who help drive our economy and contribute to the city's success. And whereas the city of Mesa opens our arms and provides assistance through our city departments to support Latino-owned businesses to locate, thrive, and expand in Mesa. Therefore, Mayor John Giles proclaimed September 15th to October 15th, 2020 as National Hispanic Heritage Month in the city of Mesa.
And now we would like to invite the chair of the Mesa Association of Hispanic Citizens, Deanna Villanueva Sauceda, to say a few words about what Hispanic Heritage Month means to our community. Deanna?
Good evening. Thank you for having me here this evening. And on behalf of the Mesa Association of Hispanic Citizens and our community, it is my honor to receive this Hispanic Heritage Month proclamation. We thank you, members of the Mesa City Council, for your support and recognition of this month of celebration, but more importantly, for recognizing the critical role that Latinos play in keeping Mesa a vibrant community. De parte de nuestra asociación y nuestra comunidad, es un honor recibir esta proclamación del Mes de la Herencia Hispana. Gracias a ustedes, miembros del Ayuntamiento de la Ciudad de Mesa, por su apoyo y reconocimiento de este mes de celebración. Pero más importante, por reconocer el papel crítico de los latinos en mantener a Mesa como una comunidad vibrante. Latinos always have been part of the fabric of our Mesa community, contributing in many ways through services, through leadership, socially, economically, from small business owners to attorneys, faith communities to families, educators to first responders. Mesa is a stronger community because of its diversity and because of our Latino community members. This year's celebration is bittersweet, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the challenging times that we're all living in, but that have had a disproportionate impact on communities of color, our Latino community specifically. Statistically, Latinos have suffered from higher rates of COVID and economic turmoil. We are still experiencing disparities in education, healthcare, representation, economic earnings. Unfortunately, equity is still a struggle in our community. But we will go on. Our community does join you in this celebration as we look not just forward to a return to normal, but as we join hands to create a better normal and an improved quality of life for all of our residents. Thank you.
Well, thank you, council members and Deanna. I'm proud to put my name to this proclamation and to get it to you. I think the three of you are great examples of the contribution that is made on a daily basis in our community by the Latino and Hispanic community. So thank you for all that you do. We're proud to recognize the rich culture and traditions and history of our Hispanic community. So thank you very much. Our next proclamation recognizes this month, September 2020, as Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month in Mesa, also a very, very important topic. This annual proclamation is more important now than ever. The pandemic can compound feelings of isolation and loneliness and thoughts of suicide. So it's important today to share the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The Lifeline is a number that you can call if you have a friend, a relative, a neighbor, or a coworker who's really struggling and you're wondering how to be supportive. It's also a number you can call if you are ever in a crisis. I took the opportunity a few minutes ago to add this to my cell phone, and I would encourage everyone to do the same, because at some point you're going to be in a conversation with someone or a conversation about someone that could benefit from this line, having this telephone number handy. So even if you can't think of somebody right now, I would encourage you to please jot this number down, put it in your telephone number, because you literally could be saving a life if you do this. So please enter this number into your cell phone. It's 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273, and then the letters would be TALK or TALK for 8255. So to share more about Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, I'd like to invite Mesa Public Schools Community Partnership Coordinator, Michelle Grimaldi, to say a few words. Michelle, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been an honor to work with the City of Mesa, along with county, state, veteran advocates, and the Center for Aging, among many other behavior specialists, to provide prevention strategies in Mesa. Besides the helpline that you just gave, during pandemic, any person that is struggling and in crisis can go to resilientarizona.org or call 211. This is a free crisis service that is filtered by need. So anybody that is suffering maybe anxiety, depression, or thoughts of suicide can also use that line as well. I'm proud to say our collaboration monitors what's called syndromic surveillance. These are trends from hospital visits on suicide-related visits. So rather than looking at the number of suicides in Mesa, to be more preventative, we look at that data, and then our group organizes community events, public announcements. We stress the safe storage of firearms, and we do anything we can to get the message out and reduce the stigma of getting help for suicide. So I appreciate your time, Mayor Giles. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Michelle. And on the City of Mesa side, I'd like to thank Amanda Stamps from the Mesa Police Department and Natalie Lewis from the City Manager's Office, who have also been working very hard with Mesa Schools and our other community partners and agencies on suicide prevention. So I'll be very happy to, again, issue this proclamation, and this is something we need to work on every day of the year in our community. So, but thank you for raising the awareness of this topic. The next item on our agenda is to take action on the consent agenda. Mr. Kevin Christopher will read the consent agenda for the council. Mr. Christopher.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. These are the items in the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group of the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings is written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Quick Trip, 1956 East Southern Avenue. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Got Sushi, 6744 East McDowell Road. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken, 212 West Main Street. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for East Mesa Fraternal Order of Eagles, number 4508, 1712 West Broadway Road. Item 3E, act on liquor license application for Desert Eagle Brewing Company, 150 West Main Street. Item 4A, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option to the term contract for shade, screen, canopy repair, and for replacement services, the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4B, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for commercial grade fitness equipment for the Mesa Fire and Medical, Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities, and other departments. Item 4C, act on 4-year term contract with renewal options for childhood and adult vaccines for the Mesa Fire and Medical Department. This purchase is funded by a Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community Grant and an Arizona Department of Homeland Security grant. Item 4D, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for extrication personal protective equipment for the Mesa Fire Medical Department. The initial purchase of 72 additional extrication turnouts is partially funded by an enhancement stipend from the 100 Club of Arizona. Item 4E, act on 1-year term contract with a 1-year renewal option for heart monitors and defibrillators for the Mesa Fire Medical Department. Item 4F, act on an 11-month term contract for heavy-duty vehicle equipment, body parts, and repair services for the Fleet Services Department. Item 4G, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for masonry wall cleaning, painting, and repair services for the Transportation Department. Item 4H, act on 4-year term contract with renewal options for biochemical oxygen demand analyzers for the Water Resources Department. Item 4I, act on 33-month term contract with 2 years renewal options for hatch equipment, repairs, and support services for the Water Resources Department. Item 4J has been removed from the consent agenda. Item 5A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community for the receipt and distribution of Proposition 202 funds. Item 5B, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an award agreement with the State of Arizona Office of Attorney General to accept grant funds from the fiscal year 2021 Victims' Rights Program to be used for salaries and benefits of 2 victim notification clerks at the Police Department's Mesa Family Advocacy Center. Item 5C, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to accept, expend, and distribute calendar year 2020 CARES Act grant funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to be used for housing services programs. Item 6A, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 20-00253. This is a property located at the southeast corner of Power Road and Warner Road. A rezoned site plan review and council use permits to allow for development of a group commercial, entertainment, and industrial development. Item 7A, act on ordinance regarding ANX 20-00206, annexing property located south of Ray Road and east of Mountain Road. This was initiated by the property owner. Item 7B, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00207. This is for property located west of Meridian Road on the south side of Ray Road. A rezone to establish commercial zoning for future development. Item 7C, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00475. This is for property located west of Signal Butte Road on the south side of Southern Avenue. A rezone to correct an error in the ordinance map, approve a zoning case ZON 19-00872, and allow for a mixed-use development. Item 8A, act on subdivision plat, the Roach Estates located south of McDowell Road on the east side of Val Vista Drive. Item 8B, act on subdivision plat, East Mark Development Unit DU7, parcel 53, located north of Ray Road and east of Ellsworth Road. Item 8C, act on subdivision plat, Mercado Fiesta, located west of Alma School Road on the south side of Southern Avenue. And item 8D, act on subdivision plat, Mercado Fiesta condominium, located west of Alma School Road on the south side of Southern Avenue. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, have there been any requests to speak on an item on the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda? Thank you. Motion by Mr. Thompson, seconded by Mr. Luna. We'll do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, so that motion passes unanimously. We'll now go to agenda item 4J. This is the studios at Mesa City Center. Staff recommends awarding the contract for this project to be to the selected construction manager at risk, Oakland Construction. Is there any discussion on this item? Has there been any requests, Ms. Mickelson, from the public to speak on this item?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there a motion and a second to approve this item? Motion made by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Luna. We'll again do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Nay.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye. Motion passes 6 ayes and 1 nay. Next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, have there been any requests to speak under this agenda item?
No request, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. That concludes our agenda for this meeting. Council, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Thank you. Motion by Mr. Thompson, seconded by Mr. Luna. We will do a voice vote, so please unmute your microphones. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned.